Our next guest has the greatest name ever, and if I can get him to say it all, how many parts to it?
Well, so it can go with just Eze Enriquez, or we can go with my real name with Ezekiel Alejandro Enriquez, which that is impossible for a lot of people to even pronounce. So I gave up on that, and I just go by ECE or Eze,
Eze. All right. And Eze, if you recognize any part of that name, is the son of Dr. Enriquez, who is a force to be reckoned with in Milan. He is an entrepreneur. He is a driving force in the Milan area. And I know you used to work with him as well. And he has a physical therapy place. He's involved in theater work.
Yeah, Rotary Club, every kind of thing that you can imagine for the community. That's kind of where I get my drive as well. It's learning from him at a very young age that if you ever want to make a difference in the world, you really got to start with yourself. You really got to start with your community, So that's really where we get our drive from, is trying to better our community, make a difference where we actually live.
He loves America.
Yes.
He's a great patriot.
Yes.
And he comes from where?
Argentina. Yeah, we were born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And he came here a while back ago. I came here when I was 11 years old. Of course, not knowing one single word of English. The same thing with him. We both didn't know any English. He came here before my brother and I did. He set up the whole thing over here so that my brother and I could just move, and be comfortable over here. But yeah, he's a great, great guy.
He really is. And you remind me very much of him in your attitude, your drive, your entrepreneurialism.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, so like I said, I came here when I was 11 years old. And my background is it's a background similar to a lot of other people, which a lot of other people, especially in my field of videography or photography, we hear no a lot. Now, when I grew up in Argentina, I heard no, 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 no. Now, the no was your son will never speak English, no. So it's even funny that I'm sitting here on the radio talking English with you, because I took every single English class in Argentina and failed every single English class. So I shouldn't even be speaking English. So right away, when somebody tells me no to something, it gives me that drive to even do it more. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just have a huge drive for bettering my community, And when we opened this business, Artismo Studio Share in Saline, it was originally just supposed to be a studio share for photographers and for videographers. And of course, we kind of switched that a little bit, added a little bit of co-working space, just because the community kept asking for that. I had a few photographers that were interested in studio rental, but a lot of them kept asking, what about desk space? What about desk space?
Where are you located?
We are on West Bennett Street. So we're in Saline, right on North Ann Arbor and West Bennett Street. So
this is interesting because you had and have a thriving videography business yourself, but you've now created this space for others also to ply their craft.
Yes. Yeah, my idea was to try to help. And to be honest with you, a lot of creatives have the same problem that I do, which is we have a hard time finding other creatives to hang out with. So really, it was also an excuse for me to be able to open up a studio and make it a home for Michigan creatives. So,
and I've seen photos of the studio. It's unbelievable.
Well, thank you.
It's really, you've got it very well appointed. Describe what this is like.
So it's 2 floors. The upstairs floor is a co-working area only. So it's all desk space. You can rent out a desk space if you want there, or you can do a jump desk, or what is called a hot desk. Just rent out, come in and out, see if the space is open.
And if I remember correctly, that was about $100 a month, and you could just come and go, right?
Yep, exactly.
And so if a space was open at that time, it was yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the downstairs is a full-size studio. So you have everything from backdrops, lighting, props, everything that you might need. And especially great because if you're a business owner who's not a photographer or a videographer, but you still have a business that is very oriented in taking Instagram pictures or Facebook pictures to sell your products, this is a great co-working space to be able to say, here's my little office space or here's my little desk space. Let me run downstairs really quick and capture all these shots with all this professional equipment for my Instagram. So
you have different levels, though. As you mentioned, the jump, what are you calling it?
Yeah, the jump desk, is where people can just come in and out,
So for $100 a month, you can come in and out. Yep. Now for was it 80?
It's 180, yeah. It's where you get your own dedicated space, your own dedicated desk, and it won't be switched with anybody. You can leave your stuff there if you like. And again, keep in mind that this is not a co-working space like a lot of the other ones where you'll see 200 people or so. This is a very small co-working space. So the max people that you might have in there is 10 to 15 people.
And are most of them creatives? Is that
that's the goal that we're trying to head towards. But I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are not creatives thinking of the advantages that comes with having a studio share where you're sharing space with a lot of creatives that could eventually help your business.
Because so many people want and need that kind of service, and to have the connection right there makes it very easy.
Yeah.
Wow. You're calling this Artismo Studio Share.
Correct.
People can go online to artismostudioshare.com. That's ARTISMO studioshare.com and see what we're talking about here. Then there are also levels where certain things come with it. It's different packages.
Yep. So I figure some people would just want to rent out a desk space. So there's a level for that. And then there's somebody that wants to rent out a desk and also have use of the full studio as well. And then, of course, it's 24/7, Monday through Friday. So they can come in and out. It's fingerprint access. So there won't be anybody there to babysit them.
Wow.
So it's supposed to feel like their own space, especially if you're a photographer. I don't want photographers coming in there and feeling like it's somebody else's artwork hanging up, or like they're showing up at Bob's so-and-so studio.
Right.
I wanted this to feel like it was their own space where they can bring their clients in and feel comfortable.
And so many photographers are doing work out in the community anyway. This makes it very economical for them to be able to still have a studio space.
Yeah, I think right now the cheapest one that we got, the cheapest package for photographers is $60 a month. So now keep in mind that there are some studios that rent out their studios for $65 per hour with a minimum of 2 hours.
That's a big difference.
So right now we're doing it at $60 for, I think it's about 10 hours a month that you get of studio time.
But you've thought about everything. This is not just a cavern when you walk in there. I mean, you've got beautiful lighting and backdrops.
Yep, we had to change, obviously, all the lighting. And yeah, this is something that I was planning for a couple of years. It took me a while to just kind of raise the funds to be able to put something like this together. So I've had it in the back of my head for now a year, more than a year, you know.
How did you raise those funds? Do you have investors?
Yes, so I do. I do. Now, one of my biggest investors, and I have to say hello to her, is my mother, because I'm a very proud son, obviously. You know, I love both my parents. You know, so I'm not ashamed of my parents or working with my parents. It has been the greatest times of my life is being able to spend time with my mom or, like I said, working with my dad. You know, not a lot of kids get to work with their parents. And I've spent years with my dad working, and it's been the greatest time of my life being able to work with him, you know. So yeah, doing things with my parents, I'm all about it, not ashamed of it whatsoever. And I needed the help to open up this place. You know, I am an artist. I am a working artist. So like you said, I get to do video production. I do a lot of the work for Eastern Michigan. I've done work for Our Detroit, UAW4 magazine. You know, so I've had great clients like the city of Milan, for example. And I'm very proud that I'm a working artist. But it's still hard to raise the funds to open up an actual physical location for a business, you know, when you're doing it all completely by yourself.
Right.
So.
Well, thank goodness for mothers.
Yes,
and fathers.
100%, man. I'm telling you, parents are the best.
What is your mom's name?
So my mom's name is Lisi. So she's in Argentina. My whole family's in Argentina. That's where we're originally from. The only people here are my dad and my brother.
Oh.
So, but she is a beyond encouraging, you know, mother. She's always pushed me, you know, the same thing with my dad. My dad's the hard pusher. My mom's the supportive pusher, you know. So my dad's always pushing me. You can do it. You can do it. You know, nobody can stop you, you know.
It's great to have parents like that.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah.
So I've been very blessed.
This is our Saline Area Chamber of Commerce report, and Artismo Studio Share is based in Saline. How did you decide on Saline for your space?
Well, there was a couple different things. We were looking for a couple different locations, and I was working with a few of my clients. I do the video work for Fineo Album and Album Envy, which are two great companies in the Saline area that do album printing. And the owner, Tony, just happened to show me the space in the back. You know, he said, come look at my little tiny space in the back. When he said tiny, I thought it was tiny, but I was completely 100% wrong. It's not tiny at all. And so that's literally how I ran into the space, you know. He needed somebody to fill up the space. I needed to find a space that was large enough to host as many people as we wanted to.
Did you know much about the community? I know that you went to, Lincoln schools, right?
Yeah, I went to Lincoln schools. And no, I didn't know much about the community. I've always been interested in Saline because I've lived in Ann Arbor. I lived in Milan. I lived in Ypsi, you know. Saline was the only place I didn't live in yet, you know. So I was really interested in the community because of the vibe that the community has. You know, it's a mix between Ann Arbor and between Milan. You can walk down the street and people say hello to you. Yet people are also very community-oriented, business-oriented, trying to make the community a better place every single day.
You really captured Celine in a nutshell. It's exactly how I feel about it as a transplant to Celine from Ann Arbor.
Yep.
And that's the feel you get. It still has that small hometown feel to it, which is what I was looking for. Yet it's got the big amenities and a lot of businesses coming in.
Yeah.
And a lot of, when you talk about creatives, I can't get over the community. Volunteers really drive that community and the kinds of events they put on, and it's just marvelous.
And that's where we're hoping that Artismo kind of joins in too. It'd be nice to do weekend events where we can do comedy shows. There is no such a comedy show in Saline. If you want to watch a comedy show, you have to come all the way over here to Ann Arbor, which is not a far drive, so I'm not going to complain, it's just 10 minutes. But it'd be nice to have something for the community right there, more events,
right.
Artismo Studio Share is a place where I would love to hold free classes as well. So if there's any educators out there that want to do free classes for the community, they can contact us so that we can all obviously try to put together something for free for them. Just anything that brings value to the community, we're all about.
Oh. We are talking with Eze Enriquez and his Artismo Studio Share. When did you open?
Well, we got the space about 5 months ago. And it took me a while doing everything myself, pretty much, with my intern. That was the only two of us that were working on the space. And so literally, technically, I opened about a month ago.
Oh, I didn't realize that. It seems like you've been open longer than that.
Just because I've been kind of doing a little bit of marketing, showing like the behind-the-scenes stuff, but technically, I've rented it out before to a few friends of mine, like a couple months ago, just to test it out, see what was wrong with the space. But technically, again, it's only been about 4 weeks since we've opened.
Eze, I want to talk about your creativity. I can't get over your video work. And I've been in the TV industry, and you really have an eye for what you do. First of all, you're using drones.
Yes.
Secondly, you really know how to capture a mood, and you're very, very good with the technology. How did you learn that?
So when it comes to video, it was one of the things where I jumped in early on because probably like a lot of other videographers, they wanted to be in front of the camera and be an actor, So, and we seen that was kind of hard, maybe impossible. So we figured out why not just buy a camera ourselves and start. So I did that with friends of mine when I was really young, doing short films, comedy skits. I had a friend of mine named David Lear, who's now in LA, who does K-pop and owns Vendetta Studios. He's a very big producer from the area, and so I learned a lot from him, and just kind of kept going, kept getting as many clients as I could over and over, and just picking up a camera and learning. By the time I went to film school, I already had done TV commercials. So I was stuck in film school, kind of wondering, what am I doing here?
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Washtenaw Community College.
Oh yeah.
So, and of course, I had great teachers, but they all knew They all knew that I was already a working artist.
Right.
So I was just there again to build that kind of community vibe, to get people around me. To build a sort of team around me.
I mentioned early on that the work you did for Eastern Michigan University's football team was absolutely epic.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite videos.
Really,
and I also have to give credit to my videographer, to one of my partners, Brett Moyer, who's a photographer. He's an amazing guy, and I've shoot a lot of those Eastern Michigan videos with him.
It's just so cool. You get excited about the team before they even played it down. I mean, it was
and that was the point when I went in. I told the team, let's make sure that we scare the other teams that see this video.
That's what
I wanted to make sure that was my main goal. Is is surprise the audience that's watching this video, and then also scare the other guys and be like, oh, wait a second, So
they look tough, but you gave them a personality. Their personality shined through on that. So.
Yeah, and the athletic department at Eastern Michigan, they're all such wonderful guys. I've had such great times with them. We shot all the basketball team videos, the football team, obviously, volleyball team.
Oh, I haven't seen all those. I've just seen the football.
Yeah, so a lot of the athletic videos. I shot some of the videos, or a video for the music department as well. So I'm starting to spread myself around.
Oh, that's great.
In that area.
You mentioned your friend that's out in LA. Why have you not jumped to one of the coasts?
I've thought about it many times.
I know you've got a young family, right?
Yeah. So I have a kid, and my fiance, she's a photographer as well. So her name's Jessica Reeves. She's amazing. She does a lot of weddings. But really, I don't know the reason. You know what? I don't want to lie or make up an excuse. So I really don't know why I haven't moved out there. But I know I'm still trying to do everything possible here myself in Michigan. And I do believe that the Midwest, especially nowadays in a digital age, I don't believe that if you want to be a screenwriter, you have to live in LA. Like that's just a crazy idea when
Well,
you
Jeff
can do
Daniels
so much
has
business.
proven that, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And you can do so much business back and forth on the internet that is, to me, it just makes no financial sense. You know, I do have a friend of mine like David Lear in LA and other friends that some of these guys are paying $5,000 a month in rent for an apartment.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sitting here like, for $5,000 a month, you could buy a house here.
Yeah.
You know, so I just don't know if for me, you know, it's worth moving somewhere like that, especially when I can do all the work digitally.
Well, you've definitely raised the bar here in our own community.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think your work is just outstanding. It really is beautiful.
You're making me blush now.
Well, and I wish you well. And it occurs to me, though, by you opening up this studio share, you're inviting other creatives to come in who are your competitors.
Yes. Well, not. I don't want to say my competitors because we all have different goals. Everybody thinks that photographers all want to do the same thing. Videographers all want to do the same thing. We don't all want to be Steven Spielberg. You know, we all have different mindsets, different goals, different kind of clients. You know, there's a lot of corporate work that I do right now that maybe in the future I won't be doing. There's a lot of corporate work that kids that are not doing right now that wish that they could be doing. So yeah, it's when you're a creative, you kind of have to find the area where you best fit. And it's just not everywhere. So it's not that I have competition necessarily. I have very good friends of mine who are videographers who I could not wish them the best, you know, because you want that from them, especially when they're your friends.
Right.
You want to watch them succeed.
You, like your father, have a great business sense because you know that with that kind of collaboration and working together, and that's what raises up a community. That's what everyone then can do well.
Yeah.
And I think that you've got a good sense of that. ArtismoStudioShare.com. Check it out. ARTISMO StudioShare.com. Eze Enriquez. It's EZE, but it's pronounced Eze. Eze Enriquez. Say the whole name again.
Ezekiel Alejandro Enriquez.
I could listen to that all day long.
Well, thank you.
I understand the new chamber executive director, John Trapolsky, that you did his wedding.
Yeah, so I shot his wedding, but I actually know his wife. We went to high school together, Stacy.
Oh.
We used to ride the bus together every single day, you know, so
They're
she's
a great
amazing.
couple, and she's opening up a
she's got a
dog bakery?
Yeah, she's got a dog bakery in Chelsea, which is also amazing. She's a great businesswoman. And yeah, John is just hysterical. He is a great guy for the community for sure.
He really is.
Yeah, and especially for the chamber. He's got some great ideas. He's got a new vision that he can bring to the chamber, you know. So he was a great find for Celine.
Yeah, we were really great to that we were able to draw him in here. They've been phenomenal. Yeah. And she now is the new head of Linden Square as well.
Yes, correct,
so. Yeah, so they've really immersed themselves.
That's literally right around the corner from us as well.
Yeah, that's right there. Well, great talking with you, and wish you well with this new business. For more info, people can go online to ArtismoStudioShare.com. They're also members of the Saline Area Chamber of Commerce, and you can visit salinechamber.org. Eze, thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're listening to Ann Arbor's Talk Station, the Lucy Ann Lance Show on 1290 WLBY.